143 Mark Twain quote about the search for truth. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, this is the ideal life. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to reform, or pause and reflect. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Never put off till tomorrow what may be done day after tomorrow just as well. Classic, a book which people praise and don't read. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. A light can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. Reader, suppose you were an idiot. And suppose you were a member of Congress. But I repeat myself. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. I did not attend his funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it. God created war so that Americans would learn geography. I was gratified to be able to answer promptly, and I did. I said I didn't know. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities, truth isn't. Loyalty to country always. Loyalty to government, when it deserves it. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. Books are for people who wish they were somewhere else. What would men be without women? Scarce, sir, mighty scarce. Sanity and happiness are an impossible combination. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. Everyone is a moon, and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Always do what is right. It will gratify half of mankind and astound the other. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. Education, the path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. The best way to cheer yourself is to try to cheer someone else up. Name the greatest of all inventors. Accident. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. A clear conscience is the sure sign of a bad memory. Get your facts first, and then you can distort them as much as you please. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. I didn't have time to write a short letter, so I wrote a long one instead. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Out of all the things I have lost, I miss my mind the most. Never argue with stupid people, they will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. To get the full value of joy you must have someone to divide it with. When angry, count 4. When very angry, swear. Heaven goes by favor. If it went by merit, you would stay out and your dog would go in. Any emotion, if it is sincere, is involuntary. I must have a prodigious amount of mind, it takes me as much as a week, sometimes, to make it up. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world and moral courage so rare. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. The most interesting information comes from children, for they tell all they know and then stop. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear and life stands explained. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. The dog is a gentleman, I hope to go to his heaven, not man's. If voting made any difference, they wouldn't let us do it. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. There is a charm about the forbidden that makes it unspeakably desirable. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Reality can be beaten with enough imagination. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. I have a higher and grander standard of principle than George Washington. He could not lie. I can, but I won't. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. Alright, then, I'll go to hell. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Part of the secret of success in life is to eat what you like and let the food fight it out inside. Action speaks louder than words but not nearly as often. My books are water, those of the great geniuses is wine. Everybody drinks water. Never argue with an idiot. They will only bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. If Christ were here, there is one thing he would not be, a Christian. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. Obscurity and incompetence, that is the life that is best worth living. Man is the only animal that blushes, or needs to. A half-truth is the most cowardly of lies. Thunder is good, thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work. Never argue with a fool, onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Never argue with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Politicians and diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason. In the first place, God made idiots. This was for practice. Then he made school boards. There is one way to find out if a man is honest. Ask him. If he says yes, you know he's crooked. Why do you sit there looking like an envelope without any address on it? Be good and you will be lonesome. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. Let us live so that when we come to die even the undertaker will be sorry. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. Now and then we had a hope that if we lived and were good, God would permit us to be pirates. Let us be thankful for the fools. But for them the rest of us could not succeed. A successful book is not made of what is in it, but what is left out of it. Under certain circumstances, profanity provides a relief denied even to prayer. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak just because a baby can't chew it. The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. Comparison is the death of joy. That is just the way with some people. They get down on a thing when they don't know nothing about it. Religion was invented when the first con man met the first fool. Writing is easy. All you have to do is cross out the wrong words. Often it does seem such a pity that Noah and his party did not miss the boat. Too much of anything is bad, but too much good whiskey is barely enough. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. Human beings can be awful cruel to one another. The man who is a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. Good judgment is the result of experience and experience the result of bad judgment. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Write without pay until somebody offers to pay. When red-headed people are above a certain social grade, their hair is auburn. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them have never happened. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. Don't wake up a woman in love. Let her dream, so that she does not weep when she returns to her bitter reality. When a man loves cats, I am his friend and comrade, without further introduction. The less there is to justify a traditional custom, the harder it is to get rid of it. Write what you know. Humor is mankind's greatest blessing. Facts are stubborn things, but statistics are pliable. We may not pay Satan reverence, for that would be indiscreet, but we can at least respect his talents. The lack of money is the root of all evil. What gets us into trouble is not what we don't know. It's what we know for sure that just ain't so. The older I get, the more clearly I remember things that never happened. Wheresoever she was, there was Eden. A gentleman is someone who knows how to play the banjo and doesn't. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of joy you must have somebody to divide it with. While the rest of the species is descended from apes, redheads are descended from cats. Familiarity breeds contempt in children. Civilization is a limitless multiplication of unnecessary necessaries. There is nothing so annoying as having two people talking when you're busy interrupting. It's easy to make friends, but hard to get rid of them. Honesty, the best of all the lost arts. Don't say the old lady screamed. Bring her on and let her scream. Great people are those who make others feel that they, too, can become great. I couldn't bear to think about it, and yet, somehow, I couldn't think about nothing else. It usually takes me 2 or 3 days to prepare an impromptu speech. Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. The secret source of humor is not joy but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. I do not wish any reward but to know I have done the right thing. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist, except an old optimist.